Welcome to What's Up, Bolts? I'm Fernando Ramirez, and obviously, that cowboy hat wearing, sunglass donning, son of a gun must be Dan and Dago. And
Woo!
obviously, if he's wooing, that means there's no Whiskey Sour Wednesday this week, is there, Dan?
No Whiskey Sour Wednesday. I'm Friday up. Only Victory Mondays for your boy in the nearest future.
So I asked Justin after the game, is there going to be a brisket, a Christmas brisket? He's like, you know what? There might be one this week. So a good week, I guess, for Dan and Dago and the Chargers going into Christmas week. Dan, real quick before we move on, what are you wearing? I that shirt for the listeners. It says Los Angeles Chargers. It's a nice shirt.
Let me show you this little drip drop, whatever the kids are saying.
Drip. Oh, Dan, Dago using drip.
Our friends from Homage getting Dan and Dago ready for his game day fits, his Victory Monday fits. Shout out to them because gosh dang, this feels so nice and smooth. Look, that little H feels so nice and smooth against your skin.
If you guys haven't heard, if you guys didn't watch the preview episode of this last week, the COMPAS have teamed up with Homage. They have a lot of great shirts. The link below for Homage's Chargers gear. Go get your Chargers gear. And then obviously right now we're having a contest. Hilberto was on last week. He made his debut on COMPAS on What's Up Bolts, and he talked about a contest with Homage. Go check that out. You just have to comment on the video from last week. What's Up Bolts? We'll be choosing a winner, and it's a Justin Herbert t-shirt. So that's even better. You know, Dan and Dago loves his Justin Herbert, don't you, Dan?
I love the son of Odin, God of lightning. Did you see the way he was slinging it yesterday, Frau? Absolutely freaking magisterial.
So obviously, go check that out. Go to the last video. Go check out. It's at the beginning of the video. You'll check out. Gilbert comes on and we talk about it and the contest and everything. So don't forget that, and don't forget the COMPAS. Let Homage know the COMPAS sent you. They have great t-shirts, not just Chargers gear. If your loved ones are Titans fans, Rams fans, whatever kind of fans they are, they have it all. They even have 90s references. Like I told you guys last week, my favorite t-shirt is Topanga was my first crush from Boy Meets World. Yes, she was, and I'm all about that. I'm gonna get that t-shirt soon. So definitely go over to Homage and let them know that COMPAS sent you. Dan, obviously, tough game. Chargers 17-14. 17-14 is a slugfest. That's two boxers going back and forth. That's obviously a tight decision coming down to the end. The Chargers improved to 8-6. Dan, they sit now in the 6th place in the playoff bracket.
Don't tell them that.
So that's obviously pretty interesting. Now, real quick, we got to go to Brandon Staley, who he talks about what it means to have the 6th seed and be right there in the playoff hunt. He really sets it into perspective, Dan, about what this team needs to do to have that to continue having that place in the playoffs.
Yeah, Lindsay, I think that the last part you said is the most important part, which is us controlling the Chargers and taking care of our football team. We still have a lot of improvement to make. You know, we got some guys back today on offense. But it's fully integrating them into the plan and getting into rhythm. You can see that our receivers, you know, I think are finding that like normal stuff with Justin, like how we're used to playing when everyone's together. But we got to get everybody integrated. And on defense, you know, we get DJ back, hopefully get Joey back. You want to make sure that you're getting improvements, making the improvements so that you can play your best at the end. And it's been a fight this season, as you guys all know, to get into a spot where you can say that. But that's what we're going to have to do down the stretch to win, you know, this game versus Indianapolis. You know, is we got to make the improvements, use the extra day to our advantage, have a great week of practice, and then go play a team that's a very proud football team that has a lot of good players on it.
So clearly, Brandon saying they got to put the blinders on. Stop focusing on playoff seeding. Stop focusing on other stuff. Let that just take care of your taking care of business
every day.
So you got to take care of your business. You can't focus on what everybody else is doing. Keep the blinders on because other things are happening too. The Chargers could end up as the 5th seed. Baltimore is only 1 game now ahead of the Chargers.
Slipping.
So there are some things happening, but obviously you have to focus on Indy. I think I saw it yesterday. The record of the last 3 opponents of the Chargers is 12, 28, and 1. And like I said last week, Brandon has been here. The Chargers have been here before. They were in the same position last year. They went 1-3 down the stretch in the last 4 games of the season. Yes, they had COVID. They had some other issues going on as well, some injuries. But here this year, it seems a little bit different, Dan. It seems like these guys are they're laser focused. Not saying that they weren't last year, but here they seem laser focused. They're winning these tough games. The Chargers hadn't won a game against an opponent with a winning record until they beat the Miami Dolphins last week and until they beat the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. But then on top of that, though, they battled against one of the toughest teams in the NFC in San Francisco, 100%. And they battled against the Chiefs when they didn't have Mike Williams, they didn't have Joey Bosa, they didn't have a lot of their pieces. So they battled all season long, or they battled against some tough teams, just putting those teams away. And now you're seeing them put teams away. Now with the 4-game stretch, they're 1-0. They're 1-0, and they go to Indy next week. So Dan, do you think it's smart what Brandon's doing right now, putting the blinders on and saying, hey, we got to focus on our brand of football?
100%. You can't worry about things that are out of your control, right? So you can't start score watching other games and, start focusing too much or looking. The way I always tell players, right, you always want to look just a little bit ahead of yourself to see what's coming, but you have to look more where you are right here, right now, because once you start looking ahead, that's when mistakes can happen. That's when you overlook opponents. You can't overlook Indianapolis just because they had the largest comeback in NFL history. They're still showing up to play football on Monday night. Anything can happen.
They've been tough all season.
They have, like the Jeff Saturday hire or not, but they have played hard. And that's the biggest thing is you have to ignore all the freaking noise, like all the stooge pundits talking about the son of Odin, talking about job security in the building and other things like that. You got to ignore it, especially the playoff seedings and all that. Even worse, don't ignore it. Don't even listen to it. Because, number one, you can't overlook opponents or they will beat you. We saw that last year, even though you want to use the COVID stuff, and that's fine. I mean, I guess, but everybody deals with it. And you don't want to give, wallpaper material because you're already looking to the playoffs and thinking, oh, we're going to smoke these guys anyway. It doesn't matter. Frau, in my mind, seriously, there's no reason why they shouldn't go 3-0. They play Indianapolis, who, hasn't been great. They play – who's the one between the Broncos?
The Rams.
Oh, yeah, they play the Rams, who have been terrible. They're tanking for nothing. So,
but even the Rams are going to be tough because, I mean, that defense
100%
is playing hard. They took it to the Chiefs. I mean, the Texans took it to the Chiefs on Sunday. That was impressive.
And you know what, Frown? You know what's the most dangerous thing about that game? The Rams are going to be playing for the Rams are going to be playing for pride. They're in their home stadium. Well, I know they're away, but they're in their home stadium. Yeah. And it's like it or not, it's a rivalry. They brought the first Super Bowl and everything else to LA. They feel like they own LA, they run LA, and they want to let, essentially in their minds, little brother know. So you can't overlook these teams just because they have injuries or they haven't played well, because like the cliche goes, any given Sunday or whatever.
I think I did the math, and if the Chargers win the next 2 games, I think they could have it clinched before they go to Denver, the playoff spot.
See, and that Denver game worries me, dude. In Denver,
that Denver game, because you'd be going up against who?
Mr. Limited. Gotta be dangerous. The Danger Witch, or whatever the hell he said. Guy's a stooge.
What kind of have you ever done anything? Have you ever done anything dangerous? No, the sub when he's like, there's a time when I've done stuff dangerous, but I don't think you're ready for that story yet.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. Let me. You know what's so funny? Just the way they call him a Super Bowl winning quarterback when it's like, come on, bro. It was all the defense.
Well, I mean, no, we're not.
And the run game.
Let's move on.
And the run game.
Obviously, like we said, big game. Not the best game from Justin Herbert. Brandon Staley said after the game that you know who your quarterback is in the 2-minute offense. And the Chargers had it in the 2-minute offense. At the end of the game, Justin Herbert makes an 18-yard throw to who else? Mike Williams hadn't had that big of a game. He had a couple of catches, but it's when they come up clutch. That's what I tell folks. Stats. I mean, yeah, I understand the stats for fantasy and everything, but really, Mike hadn't had that big of an impact yet in the game. He makes a great grab, an 18-yard grab to move the chains in the 2-minute offense. Then Justin rolls out to his right, looks down the field, and throws it up to Mike and to make a big play. Let's hear what Mike had to say about that grab and the connection with Justin.
Oh, it's going a lot. It's pretty good. Just give me a chance to get my hands on it, and I tried my hardest to make a play, and we was able to do that towards the end of the game.
I think it's so funny. Mike just makes it sound so easy. He's like, I just put my hand up. I told them, hey, come, let me get it. And I did, and they did. So I was
makes it look easy. He makes it look easy too.
And that's the thing. He makes that 35-yard grab. Mike said, he even told us, I didn't know if I was in bounds or out of bounds. Like, I didn't know where I was on the, like, I knew I was, well, he knew he had made the catch, but he didn't know if he had gone out of bounds or not. And so he just picked up but that's the awareness that these guys have. He gets up and he runs right up to the referee. That's the thing.
100%.
That's what I tell people. You have to be smart in those last 2 minutes. Everybody obviously is giving credit to the Chargers 2-minute offense, but you have to credit the receivers. Receivers are used to getting up and doing
skill
something.
Players now. The skill players. I've already told you.
The Chargers receivers, I've noticed in the last few months how disciplined they are in the last 2 minutes. Yep. That they don't sell it. They just get up straight. They run over to the referee and they hand them the football. So it's been very impressive to see. You've seen how many knuckleheads go up and they'll still do a celebration or they'll mess up or something. These guys are going up straight up and giving it to the referee. So it's been pretty impressive to see. But obviously, Cameron Dicker comes in, kicks that 43-yarder. I know that it was so quiet in the stadium when he went up. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, please make this, please make this."
Yep. I know. I held my breath.
He makes it, and Charger fans get excited. It was pretty loud. Dan, you were there in person, live and in person in the stadium. How loud was it when Cameron Dicker? Well, what was louder, Mike Williams' big catch or Cameron Dicker kicking it through?
Probably Cameron Dicker kicking it through because we all know Charger fans we all know the Chargers history with kickers and last minute field goals and all that stuff. But the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is this is the first time in the past couple of weeks when they've needed big 2-minute drives. There's no sack, there's no pressure given up, there's no mistake essentially there's no mistake that causes you to lose yardage in your 2-minute offense. So that was at least a positive this time. And I assume that's attributed because Corey Linsley was actually in the game. So shout out to that guy. You could really tell every time he's missed. Every time he misses a game, you could really tell he's not out there too.
Hey, another thing is too, Dan, if you really look at it, Brandon said it when he spoke to us. He's like, hopefully we'll get Derwin back. Derwin worked out some on Friday. Here you have an extra day, so Derwin could get possibly back for next week's game. Of course, if some people haven't heard, Ian Rappaport reported for NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Compa, he's been on here before.
Shout out.
He reported that Jonathan Taylor may be done for the season.
There goes my fantasy. Thanks, Indianapolis.
He has a high ankle sprain, and so Jonathan Taylor may be out on Monday night against the Chargers. So definitely an interesting development. But still, the Chargers are gonna have to play hard. That's gonna be a hard team they're gonna face.
Yeah.
Especially because Indy's they're crazy. Like they have a lot of talent on that team. Well, Matt Ryan's a veteran quarterback, and
you have to understand also they're playing with a huge chip on their shoulder this week, or they have to. Because they're right now known as the person who gave up a 33-point lead, especially Matt Ryan. He doesn't want to look like a clown anymore. Like the guy already has 28-3 hanging over his head every day. Now he has 33-0 or whatever hanging over his day the whole time for the rest of his career and possibly life, dude. Like you don't want to come out and look like a slouch 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
they're going to be playing for a lot of pride.
We have to talk about the defense. I mean, and I feel like I haven't done that enough right now because obviously you talk about Justin and the way they play. You know what? Real quick, let's just go to Justin and hear what he had to say about obviously starting off the game kind of rough. He threw 2 interceptions. Not likely. Well, one of them was just a great play by the secondary right before halftime where the guy tosses it back into another cornerback. And then the other one was Kevin Byard just making a great play on Mike Williams, jumping in front of him and intercepting Justin. But here's what Justin talks about. He talks about being able to stay concentrated and putting the struggles behind him, even though he had thrown those 2 picks to make the game-winning throws to help his team win.
And that's the tough part about the NFL. We wished we would have loved to have gone another way. We would have loved to have put up a bunch more points. We didn't play well, as an offense. And it starts with me. Can't turn over the ball like that. And so, I've got so much respect for the defense for coming up with stops like that. But, it starts tomorrow watching the film and getting better and picking up where we left off because as an offense, we can do a lot better.
Just real quick, before we even get into what I wanted to say about his performance and stuff like that, what more do you want from a starting quarterback, franchise player? He says, it is on me. I cannot turn over the ball. The offense starts and stops with me. I have to be better. What more do you want? That's a freaking leader, dude. You already saw the debacle a few weeks ago with Zach Wilson. Now he's changing his tune in the press conference. I saw that video yesterday. I just love the Son of Odin frown. I just want this is Son of Odin. This is Son of Odin appreciation second. The dude's a dog. I freaking love that guy.
What did he say?
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh, so you remember how he was like, no, I think I did fine this and that. This week he was like, I need to do better.
Oh, okay. So he was just blank with it.
Yeah, when they lost yesterday to the Lions, he's like, yeah, I need to play better. I'm going to look at the tape. Like, totally, like, they told him, hey, quit being a scumbag, and at least in front of the cameras, like, tell him X, Y, Z. Be as cliche as possible, dude.
That's hilarious.
That's what I wanted to say. The Sun, like, that's what you want, dude, in your leadership, in your team captains and everything else. The what's it called? The ownership, right? You have to take ownership, because if you can't take ownership of mistakes you've made, how do you ever expect to get better? You can't. You're always going to be stagnant, and it doesn't work like that. Especially if you want to be a champion, you have to talk about hard truths in the building. Player-led teams on ownership, discipline, everything else, those are the ones that win championships and are remembered forever. But
yeah, and he was honest. The offense did not play well.
No.
Again, Dan, I keep on going back to this. They have not scored a third quarter touchdown since week 5 against the Cleveland Browns.
My God.
So that's a huge struggle.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I really do think it is adjustments. Defenses come out, they make adjustments. The Chargers are kind of slow on it on offense, and they don't make adjustments. And that's when the defenses take advantage of them. And then the fourth quarter, I think maybe they do get adjusted and they start doing some things well. But there is something going on in that third quarter that the struggles keep on happening. You can't have that you can't have that in
down the stretch or in the postseason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Somebody's gonna destroy you doing that kind of
in
thing.
The third quarter. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, it is what.
What do you think? Do you think it's more like they're instead of proactive, reactive, like they wait for the third quarter to kind of see what's going on?
I don't know, because it's already been, what week are we in? It's already been over 10 weeks. Like, I just think, I don't want to. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to criticize in a sense. I don't know if Joe Lombardi I don't know if he knows, hey, you have to make second half adjustments, come out and well, I mean, obviously he knows he's a coach in the NFL, but I don't know if he makes the correct adjustments or what it is. In the first half, his play calling looks really good. In the third quarter, it looks like I don't know, like freaking the kid from what's it called? The kid from
the Little Giants, where he pulls up his shirt.
Even that kid has a good play. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is, but in the third quarter, it just looks bad. Like, the offense looks stagnant. They're doing some weird things. I don't know what they can do. They did better in the red zone this week. I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns. They kicked a field goal and another. So I think they did better in the red zone this week. But I mean, they only put up 17 points. Next week against Indy, you're gonna have to light it up. Yeah. And you're gonna be going up against better receivers too. Michael Pittman's very good. Paris Campbell.
Yeah.
They have some good receivers over there. Dan, let's talk about the defense real quick. We haven't talked enough about them. The defense last week against Miami is sold. You're going up against Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Good luck. Well, it seems like last week, Brandon Staley did something different. He went more man-to-man, which is obviously what J.C. Jackson, he's on the IR and everything, but that's kind of J.C. Jackson's style. They decided to go more man-to-man, press them, get in their face, stuff like that. Okay, this week, hey, good luck. Derrick Henry's coming to town. Dan, you saw him in person. How big is he?
I kid you not. In the pregame stuff, I think for the national anthem, he stood next to an offensive lineman. The only difference is the gut. What's it called? Derrick Henry's body fat percentage probably way lower because gosh dang did they look the same size, dude. It was ridiculous.
Dan kept on telling me that on the car ride down. He's like, dude. And I saw baby Derrick Henry back in 2000. I think I still have a picture of him. In 2016, the Titans came to San Diego. I said San Diego. They came to San Diego, and Derrick was running by. This is back when the media was allowed on the field, back in the beautiful days. I was gonna say Hunter Henry. Derrick Henry's running right by me, and I saw him, and I'm like, geez. And then our good buddy Dante Lascano, he goes, hey, is that I was like, dude, that's Derrick Henry. He's like, that's the running back from Alabama. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh my God.
Can you imagine?
He's like, I wonder what they feed him.
In the hole? Yeah. Can you imagine meeting him in the hole?
I kept on telling people I kept on joking with some of the defensive players, like, you guys are gonna need ice baths. Or like, dude, ice baths for days. Yeah. That's how interesting it was. But here's Sebastian Joseph Day, who, Dan, by the way, they got Sebastian Joseph Day back this week. You know he's playing injured. He's toughing it out. But he was a big reason why they were able to stop Derrick or slow down Derrick. Derrick Henry still had over 100 yards, but it was tough, and it wasn't the 100 yards. He had a 50-yard breakout. Everything was 13 yards or below. He did have a catch of 37 yards. But other than that, he really didn't have anything else that he went crazy about. So that's pretty good. But here's Sebastian Joseph Day on the defense and why they're starting to play so well down the stretch.
I just think
there he is
in ourselves, right? I think the noise, tired of hearing how bad we are, you know? And we know we are bad, you know, some certain circumstances and certain things that we got to fight through that we feel like, you know, a lot of teams do go through in the league, but we've gone through it a lot more extremely than other teams. So, you know, I think that really drives us, you know. But we're lucky in the fact and we're blessed in the fact that we're getting healthy at the right time. And, you know, just got to keep building and not take it for granted.
How would you describe
Frau, I just want to say real quick before we get into it on the defense, I love the way you were there like Corey Linsley. You're like in the huddle, but you're looking somewhere else to see what the hell's going
on. You have to be looking around to see who's talking, who's doing what, and I'm always looking
look like
around.
Corey Linsley.
I know. So
like this gets to play, and he's already watching the defense.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking around to seeing, okay, who's out of the shower and who's who's out of the shower and who's gonna talk. So you always have to be vigilant on that. Sebastian is right. Braden Fayoko told me the same thing last week. You want to be playing your best defensive ball right now, and that's what they're doing. They're playing their best defensive ball right now. They took 3 of the most dangerous weapons in the NFL, and they were able to slow them down.
Yeah.
And do they have an impact? Yes, but it didn't, like, the bleeding you were able to stop the bleeding at one point. So that's honestly kudos to the way Brandon Staley and Ronaldo Hill have been calling these games, because it's impressive the way they've been able to put these together. But Sebastian Joseph Day just said it's about staying together. Now you could possibly get Derwin James back. Now you can possibly get, and for this Indy game, there is a big possibility that Joey Bosa could be back. Yes, he would be on a snap count, but a snap count Joey Bosa is better than no Joey Bosa at all. And I saw Joey. I've seen Joey in the locker room the last 2 weeks. The dude looks ripped. He looks ready to go. He looks
he's just more rested. He's just more rested.
Sammy Watkins just got released by the Packers. I wonder. Okay, And I'm just saying, like, I just think he would.
Rested, so he's going to be even better. Good to go, firing on all cylinders.
13 catches,
you know what? I
yards,
was going to tell you, Fayoko played really well yesterday.
That's why, Fayoko and Sebastian Joseph, they really held it down. I know other guys. You know what's funny too? In the second half, the Chargers went sack crazy. That's when Joe Gaziano got his first career NFL sack.
Let's go! Shout out, Joe.
Chris Rumpf got a second sack.
Nice.
And then
I think Drew Tranquil got one too.
Drew Tranquil got one, and so did somebody else got one.
I think Khalil got one.
No, Khalil did not.
But I was gonna say, that was gonna be the key point of this week, the front seven, and I think they did
Van Noy.
Oh yeah, that's right, Van Noy. Yeah, that's right. But you said Derrick Henry still got 100 yards or whatever?
Yeah, 104 yards on 25 carries.
But that's what I've been saying all season. Even though that stooge, that scumbag, Herbert refuses to listen and allow logic to enter his brain.
Do you feel sorry for him right now?
No, I don't, because this is exactly what he deserves. Let him freeze over there in Green Bay. But this is exactly what I've been talking about, though. This is a defense that is going to give up yards, but they're going to clamp down at the right times, and they're going to give you chances. We've seen it all year. So I'm not worried about them giving up yardage. That doesn't matter to me. And that's been the thing they've done all year. No one expected them to be the Legion of Boom, the 85 Bears, or whatever you want, but they're doing their job by limiting the points on the board, because they're either kicking field goals or they're giving up 1 touchdown, maybe 2 touchdowns max.
It's kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Besides the Jacksonville and Seattle game, but
it's kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs of 20. No, I don't like to compare, because then people are going to be like, oh, he's thinking that they're like the Giants and they could win the Super Bowl. I was going to say like the 2012.
Something good happens for Dan and Dago, and all of a sudden it shouldn't happen. It's crazy. It's terrible.
Was it 2012? Where the Giants were the 6th seed and they were on the road and they made it to the Super Bowl?
It could have won it. Let me Google it for you.
I think it was 2012.
They won in 08 and they won like no, wasn't it 11? It wasn't after the Packers?
I thought the 2012 NFL playoff, right? I remember that
But anyway, of course it can happen. The Bengals last year were road warriors the whole way through, I think. Or maybe they got one home game because they won their division. Yeah, they probably got one home game. But that's the thing, right? It's all about mentality. Do you have the right mentality, and are you playing good football right now? Personally, I always loved playing on the road. On the road, getting the boos and everything else, then you score a touchdown, and it is so quiet in those stadiums, I'm sure. There's no better feeling, obviously, besides winning a championship. But you love shutting up those home crowds. And it's like on the road, that's where you feel, back against the wall. It's time to fire on all cylinders and empty the chamber, because that's what you got to do on the road. So crazier things have happened. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it was the Giants in 2012. They were the 6th seed. And I remember their offense was not very good, or their defense was not very good, and they were able to clamp down though, and they played well down the stretch, and that's why they won. And obviously their offense as well. So, and this is what Brandon Staley had to say about what he thought about the defensive performance on yesterday or Sunday.
Yeah, Fernando, we got a really good defensive culture, right? Got a lot of guys that believe in each other. I think what we've had to do, Fernando, is have people step up and play significant roles, and it's brought out the best in them. And I really feel like we're playing as a unit. And that's what I feel out there. I feel like a team that's playing as a unit. I'm disappointed that we weren't able to finish that out in 2 minutes. But our guys fought to the end there on the goal line and gave us a chance. But very proud of our defensive football team. We were excellent on 3rd down today. We put a roof on the coverage. I thought we rushed the passer well. We put a lot of pressure on the quarterback today. And we made it tough on him in the run game. And our guys really competed today. And I thought that was the story of the game, was how our defense played.
I've been saying it all year, Frau. The level of physicality this defense is showing, I haven't seen probably in years. I can't even remember the last time the Chargers in a goal line situation stopped a runner in the run game. I honestly can't.
No, yeah, they stopped him. But then he got it a couple of plays later.
I'm saying before.
Oh,
I don't remember them being that physical. But even if he got it after Frau, to get a stop, that's huge for your spirits, your morale. That is huge mentality, and that's letting everybody know you are physical. You are going to be physical. You know, they just got beat on the other one.
So the Chargers did go, or the Titans went 3 for 11 on third down, 27%. Brandon's, I mean, that's the thing. Brandon's been catching a lot of flack for his defense, and deservedly so. That's his mantra. That's his thing. But he has stepped up to the plate. The defense stepped up to the plate. Now the question is, can you reach another level when you get Derwin James back? Because now, I mean, I think what these guys are showing, Dan, and I don't know if I'm mistaken or not, maybe Derwin doesn't have to play 5 different positions. Maybe you can do different things with Derwin and trust some of these guys. Alohi Gilman has really impressed me the last few weeks. I think he's playing good football. I hadn't thought about this before, but I think Mike Davis and Asante Samuel Jr. are playing very well right now. I'm very impressed with both of them. If you look at it, it is they had that's 2 tight ends. So the receivers, Robert Woods had 2 catches for 12 yards. Chris Conley had 3 catches for 19 yards. Dan, that's pretty good. I mean, that's and I know they're missing Trey Burks and all these other guys, but that's pretty good for these guys to have that kind of production. So if those guys are playing well, maybe with Derwin, now you can do different things. Now you can play him at linebacker. Maybe he blitzes a little bit more. Maybe if you have Joey, Khalil, and Derwin ready on Monday Night Football, maybe you send a little bit more pressure to Matt Ryan. Now with him, you can do a little bit more. Now you can play him on the tight end. So I really do think that the Chargers are headed in a good direction. It's just focus on yourself. Do what you need to do. Don't look anywhere else. So that's just my impression.
It's like one of my favorite head coaches used to say, shout out Marty Schottenheimer, 1 play at a time. That's how you win games. That's how you win playoff games. It's 1 play at a time. It's not about the next play, and it's not about the play before. It's about the play right now, and that's what they have to do. They have to focus on Indianapolis, get ready to go on the road against a very tough team, and don't overlook them, and just do your job. Control the 6 inches around you, and you will be victorious. Immortality waits for 1 person this year, Frau. And it's going to be interesting to see who that is or if they get a shot at it this year.
And now go Chargers.
Cool. Cool. You know what's funny? I always forget you have that there until you play it. Then I'm like, all right, here it comes.
That's what she said.
You're terrible. You're terrible.
So obviously, like I said, they're in a good spot. Just focus on yourself. And that's what they're all saying. We're going to focus on ourselves. We're not going to focus on everything else, but we have a lot of improvements to make. You do. That third quarter offense needs a lot of improvement. The defense, obviously, you could use a little bit more improvement. They need to get to the quarterback more consistently in the first half, I believe. And that's only going to improve with Joey possibly coming back. The offensive line, they need to get better. That was not a good showing. I think.
No.
What did he get hit? He got hit quite a couple. Man, there were some where I was like, geez.
There was a lot of inside pressure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and he was sacked 3 times. And it was the 3 sacks were from defensive tackles. So
there was a lot of inside pressure. You can't.
So they need to be better. But again, guys, thank you guys so much for joining another episode of What's Up, Bolts. The Chargers win 17-14. They improved to 8-6. They are now in the 6th spot in the AFC playoff bracket. They control their own destiny moving forward.
Don't tell them that, Frau. Don't tell them that. Let them think they're on the outside and hungry. Don't tell them they control their own destiny.
Can they continue to hold it down? We will see. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. Don't forget to go check out our compas at Homage. If you like the tee that Dan and Dago's been rocking the last 2 weeks,
throwback.
Go check it out on Homage. Tell them the Compas sent you. They got all good things over there. At Homage, we appreciate them joining the Compas. Don't forget to tell them that your Compas sent you. Thank you for checking out What's Up, Bulls. We will be having a preview episode this week. We'll see who we can get on and talk a little Colts with us. And break down the team. Again, don't forget to check out House of Horns. Gilbert is out in Green Bay, so it should be interesting to hear some of his stories from Green Bay and how cold he is. So definitely going to be interesting. And guys, please don't forget to check out regular Compas on the Beat. We have some good stuff coming up this week. We're going to break down what in the hell happened in Las Vegas. That was so interesting. Obviously, we have some other stuff we need to talk about. And hey, it's Compas Christmas this week. Happy Merry Christmas, Merry Compas Christmas. We celebrated on Compas on the Beat. We have a good show ready for you guys. And guys, don't forget to check out our other show, Compas FC. JC, Eddie, and I break down the World Cup. Is Messi really the GOAT? We explain that. We break that all down. Don't forget to check it out on YouTube, on all your downloading Spotify, all that good stuff. We break it down, all of it, the World Cup. What does it mean for Kylian Mbappe moving forward? Could he potentially be the future GOAT of soccer because of everything he's doing right now at such a young age? Go check that out. We appreciate you guys. And Comeback Compas. Comeback Compas is going to be making it's going to be like the Undertaker, reviving. It's going to sit up and it's going to come back. Why? Because Gilbert and I are going to have more time moving forward and to do some Comeback Compas. AEW is coming back to LA, so we will be covering that. And WWE WrestleMania will be in Los Angeles. We will be having more wrestlers on the show. We will be doing some more stuff with that. Don't forget to check that out. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Don't forget, be a compa, tell a compa about your compas. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We appreciate you guys so much. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody out there. We'll be doing a preview show before Christmas, but we hope you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget, be careful out there in the malls because it is dangerous. People are running people over. It's gonna be it's that time of the year. So definitely Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. We appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget, be a compa, tell a compa.